You wake up this morning and head straight to the kitchen. The light is still soft. The coffee is already brewing. You pour yourself a large glass of orange juice, freshly squeezed just like you always do, and drop 2 slices of white bread into the toaster. The smell fills the room. It feels good. It feels healthy. It feels like exactly the right way to start the day. But here is the question nobody is asking you. What is that breakfast actually doing inside your body, right now, before you even sit down? Because what if I told you that in that simple, familiar morning routine, the juice, the toast, the quiet comfort of it all, your blood sugar is already spiking to levels that may be silently damaging your kidneys, your nerves, and your heart, without a single warning sign, without a single moment of pain? And what if the real white poison on that table has nothing to do with the sugar bowl sitting right there in front of you? I recorded this video with a knot in my throat. Because every single week, in my office, I sit across from at least 2 or 3 patients who look me in the eyes and say the exact same thing. But doctor, I don't eat sugar. And they are right, they don't. But they still have prediabetes, or worse. I have spent years as a doctor treating patients over 60, and I can tell you with full certainty, the most dangerous enemy is never the one you can see. It is the one sitting right there on your breakfast table, every single morning, looking completely innocent, completely familiar, completely harmless. That is exactly why I am here today. Stay with me until the end. In this video, I am going to show you the 5 white poisons that are silently destroying blood sugar in millions of Americans over 60, ranked from the least to the most dangerous. And I want to make you a promise. The number 1 on this list is going to shock you. It is not what you are expecting, not even close. Before we go any further, please share this video with someone you love, your spouse, a sibling, a close friend, because what you are about to hear could genuinely change someone's life. And one more thing, this video is informative and educational, and it does not replace a visit to your trusted doctor. Always keep that appointment. Agreed? Then let's go. Before I show you that list, I need you to understand something first. Something that is going to make everything else click, because without knowing what actually happens inside your body every single time you eat, none of what comes next will make complete sense. Let me talk to you about your pancreas. Most people forget this organ even exists until something starts to go wrong. It sits quietly right behind your stomach, roughly the size of your hand, and it works every single hour of every single day, without a single day off. Its main job is to produce a hormone called insulin. And insulin, think of it as a dedicated delivery driver, picks up the glucose floating in your bloodstream and carries it into your cells, where it becomes fuel, energy, the force that keeps you going. Here is the part that changes everything. Your pancreas is like a factory, a loyal, hard-working factory that has been running since the day you were born. When you eat foods that digest slowly, vegetables, fiber, whole grains, glucose enters the bloodstream gradually, calmly, in a controlled and steady flow. The factory receives manageable orders, the workers keep up, the machines hold. But when you eat white bread, white rice, crackers, or a glass of orange juice, it is like opening a dam all at once. Every drop of water rushes through at the same time, instead of flowing in gently. The glucose floods the bloodstream. The factory goes into crisis mode, producing enormous amounts of insulin to handle the spike. And when this happens 3, 4, 5 times a day, every single day, for years and years, the cells start ignoring insulin. They become resistant to it. Scientists call this insulin resistance. I call it a factory where the workers are so exhausted, so completely overwhelmed, that they have simply stopped answering the phone. According to the American Diabetes Association, nearly 96 million Americans are already in that danger zone, prediabetes, and among adults over 65, close to 1 in 3 carries this condition right now, in complete silence. So let's begin. And stay with me, because this ranking is going to make you look at your kitchen in a completely different way. White poison number 5 is one that almost nobody connects to blood sugar. And that is exactly what makes it so dangerous. Refined salt, and the ultra-processed savory snacks that carry it in enormous amounts. The crackers on your coffee table, the chips in the back of the pantry, the salty bites you grab between meals without even thinking. Tell me honestly, how often does that happen in your day? Once? Twice? I hear that answer every single week in my office, and most of the time, the person saying it has no idea what those snacks are quietly doing to their metabolism. Here is what the science is showing us. Research published in The Lancet in 2022 found that diets high in sodium and ultra-processed foods are strongly linked to elevated cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone, and to widespread systemic inflammation. And cortisol, my friend, is a direct enemy of insulin. When cortisol rises, cells become less responsive to insulin, and blood sugar climbs, even without a single grain of refined sugar anywhere in the picture. I had a patient named Carol, 63 years old, a retired registered nurse from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Active, educated, she walked 3 times a week and had spent her entire career counseling patients on healthy living. But every single day, she snacked on saltine crackers from mid-morning through the afternoon, convinced they were a neutral, completely harmless option. When her fasting blood sugar came back at 108 milligrams per deciliter, already in the pre-diabetes range, she looked at me like I had said something impossible. "But they're just crackers," she told me. "They're not even sweet." And that right there is the trap. Carol replaced her daily crackers with celery sticks and a small handful of unsalted almonds. 6 weeks later, her fasting blood sugar had dropped to 98. "I had absolutely no idea that something so ordinary was doing that to me," she said. And the look on her face is something I will never forget. What can you do starting today? First, read the sodium label on every packaged snack in your home. If it carries more than 400 milligrams of sodium per serving, set it aside. Second, replace those savory crackers with raw vegetables, unsalted nuts, or a hard-boiled egg. Third, the next time the urge to snack hits, drink a full glass of water and wait 5 minutes before reaching for anything. You will be surprised. Half the time, what you felt as hunger was actually thirst. That is number 5. But I have to warn you, what comes next is the one my patients almost always want to argue with me about, because they are absolutely convinced it is healthy. And in one sense, they are right, but not for their blood sugar, not even close. White poison number 4 is natural fruit juice. I can already see your face right now. "But doctor, I squeeze it myself. I watch the orange go in. How can fresh juice be a problem?" I hear that almost every single week, and I understand it completely. It is one of the hardest truths to accept because it feels so pure, so natural, so obviously good for you. But here is the science that changes everything. When you juice a fruit, you remove the fiber, and fiber is the brake on your blood sugar. Without it, the fructose in that glass enters your bloodstream almost as rapidly as a can of soda. 1 large glass of freshly squeezed orange juice contains the sugar equivalent of 3 to 4 whole oranges, with none of the fiber from even one of them. Research published in The Lancet confirmed that liquid fructose, even from completely natural whole fruit, produces blood sugar spikes comparable to sugar-sweetened beverages when consumed without fiber. The body does not care where the sugar came from. It only knows how fast it arrives. Barbara was 67, a retired elementary school teacher from Atlanta, Georgia. She never touched cake or soda. Not once, not ever. And she was proud of that, rightfully so. But her morning ritual, every single day, was 2 slices of white toast and a large glass of freshly squeezed orange juice. She was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes at 65 and walked into my office absolutely outraged. "But I don't eat sugar," she told me. And she meant it with everything she had. And she was right about the obvious things. But that glass of juice every morning was delivering more free sugar into her bloodstream than a slice of birthday cake. After Barbara switched to eating a whole orange alongside a glass of water, her post-meal blood sugar numbers improved noticeably in just 3 weeks. "I feel like I was lied to my entire life," she told me. I told her, not lied to, just never told the full story, until now. What can you do? Eat the fruit, don't drink it. If you love the morning ritual, replace your juice with sparkling water and a slice of fresh orange on the side. Your vitamin C will be completely fine. Your blood sugar will thank you. And if someone tells you that fresh juice is healthy because it comes from fruit, they are right about the vitamins and completely wrong about what it does to your insulin every single morning. Now prepare yourself, my friend, because white poison number 3 is sitting on the breakfast table of nearly every American over 60 right now. It has been treated as wholesome, as safe, as simply part of a normal morning for decades, and it is doing more damage to your blood sugar than most people could ever imagine. Before I show you number 3, I want to pause for just a moment. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from right now? Write your city down there. I genuinely love knowing where you all are. And if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell so you never miss what comes next. Now let's keep going, because the next one is something most people do every single morning, completely convinced it is the healthy choice. And now we arrive at number 1. And this one, I admit, is going to surprise most people watching this video right now, because it is not white sugar, it is not white rice, it is not even white bread. The number 1 white poison silently destroying blood sugar in Americans over 60 is something that happens in the dark, in your bedroom, every single night. It is sleep deprivation and chronic stress. And before you say, "But I sleep fine," stay with me just a little longer, because the science behind this is staggering. Here is what is happening inside your body when you consistently sleep fewer than 6 hours a night, or when you carry the weight of anxiety, worry, or unresolved tension through your days. Your brain reads poor sleep as a threat, as danger, and in response, it floods your body with cortisol, your primary stress hormone. Think of cortisol as a fire alarm going off inside the house. When that alarm is blaring, the body does one thing above all else. It dumps glucose into the bloodstream, right now, immediately. Because historically, when a threat appeared, your body needed instant fuel to run or fight. The problem is that in 2024, the threat is not a predator. The threat is a sleepless night, a pile of unpaid bills, a family worry that never fully goes away, and your body cannot tell the difference. The alarm keeps sounding. The glucose keeps flooding in. And your insulin, that loyal delivery driver I told you about, is completely overwhelmed every single morning before you even eat a thing. Research published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that adults who sleep fewer than 6 hours per night show insulin resistance levels up to 40% higher than those who sleep 7 to 8 hours. 40%. That is not a small number. That is the difference between prediabetes and normal blood sugar, in many cases without a single dietary change. Bill is 71 years old. He is a retired hardware store owner from a small town in rural Indiana. He closed his shop at 68, and life slowed down considerably after that. He eats reasonably well by local standards. Nothing extreme, nothing lavish. He does not drink soda, does not eat candy. But Bill has not slept a full, uninterrupted night in years. Chronic back pain wakes him up at 2 in the morning. Then anxiety about his health keeps him up until 4. He gets maybe 5 hours, broken, restless, never quite deep enough. When his labs came back showing fasting blood sugar of 114 milligrams per deciliter, squarely in the pre-diabetes zone, he sat in front of me completely bewildered. "But I don't eat bad," he said. And he was right. His diet was not the main problem. His sleep was. We worked together on sleep hygiene, gentle evening walks to reduce cortisol before bed, and a consistent sleep schedule. Same time every night, every morning. 8 weeks later, his fasting blood sugar had dropped to 97. He told me, "I thought this was just aging. I had no idea my body was running on emergency mode every single night." That is the power of this villain. It has nothing to do with your plate. It lives in your nights, in your worries, in the quiet damage done while you lie awake staring at the ceiling. And it is something you can begin to address, starting tonight. So now I need you to stop for a moment. Look at your body, not with worry, but with attention. Because your body has been trying to speak to you for a long time. And sometimes we are so busy, so used to feeling a certain way, that we stop noticing the signals. If you feel a heavy, almost unavoidable drowsiness every single afternoon, not tiredness from a hard day, but a fog that hits you right after lunch, like your whole system is shutting down, that is your body struggling to handle the glucose flood. If you wake up in the middle of the night, genuinely thirsty, needing water you did not need 10 years ago, pay attention. If your vision has become blurry at certain moments of the day, not always, just sometimes, do not dismiss that. If you feel a tingling, a numbness, or a slight burning sensation in your feet or the tips of your fingers, even occasionally, that is a signal from your nervous system that something has been quietly wrong for a while. If your wounds, even small cuts, seem to heal more slowly than before, that matters. If you feel sudden, intense hunger just 2 hours after a full meal, as if your body did not register that you ate, that is your insulin sending a distress call. Any one of these signs is reason enough to sit down with your doctor and ask for 2 specific tests: a fasting blood glucose test and a hemoglobin A1C test, also called glycated hemoglobin. The A1C shows your average blood sugar over the past 3 months, not just on the morning of the blood draw. It is one of the most honest snapshots of what your pancreas has been dealing with when nobody was looking. Both of these tests are simple, widely available, and in many cases covered at no cost through Medicare or your primary care visit. There is no reason to wait. The sooner you know, the sooner you can act, and acting early is everything. So here is what I want you to do. Not tomorrow, starting today. First, eat fiber before every main meal. A handful of raw lettuce, a few stalks of celery, or a small bowl of baby carrots. Eating fiber first slows the entire meal down. It acts like a sieve, letting glucose enter your bloodstream gradually instead of all at once. This single habit, done consistently, can meaningfully reduce your post-meal blood sugar spike. Second, take a 15-minute walk after lunch and after dinner. Not a workout, not a gym session, just a gentle, quiet walk around the block. Active muscle consumes glucose directly, without needing insulin to do it. That walk is the most powerful free tool your body has against post-meal spikes. Third, replace white bread, white rice, and crackers with whole grain alternatives. Brown rice instead of white. Whole grain bread instead of sandwich bread. The fiber content makes an enormous difference in how your pancreas responds. Fourth, stop drinking your fruit. Eat it whole instead. Keep the fiber. Lose the spike. Fifth, protect your sleep like it is medicine, because it is. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, including weekends. 7 to 8 hours is not a luxury. It is a biological necessity for blood sugar control. Preventive testing saves lives. Ask your doctor for a fasting glucose test and a hemoglobin A1C today. Knowledge is the first step. A landmark study from the Global Burden of Disease Project, published in The Lancet, found that more than 70% of all type 2 diabetes cases worldwide are directly linked to modifiable risk factors, meaning that in the majority of cases, this disease is not destiny. It is a choice. Your blood sugar is not a lottery. It is not bad luck. It is not just aging. It is the result of the choices you make every single day. In your kitchen, at your table, in your bed at night. And you are here, watching this until the very end, because you care about yourself. That is not a small thing. That is enormous. It means there is still time. And there is. Please share this video right now. Send it to your spouse, to that friend who drinks juice every morning convinced it is doing them good, to that brother or sister who says they feel fine but has not had a blood test in years. One share could change a life. In the next video, I am going to reveal something that surprises almost everyone who hears it. A habit that millions of people do every single night, completely convinced it is helping their health, when in fact it is quietly working against them. You do not want to miss that one. Take very good care of yourself. Always keep that appointment with your trusted doctor. May God bless you and give you abundant health. See you in the next video.